Assalamualaikum. My name is Fatin, Diyana Afifah binti Muhammad Rozali. My group member is Mashitah, Humaira, Mawaddah and also Afiqah Taqiah. My OSV is Medium Hafizah and we from Course DFE. Today we will present about field study presentation. Next slide. For the part 1 is content about aim and objective, implementation and finding. Next slide. For this, project aim to analysis a break with a suitable nutrient for obesity person. For objective 1, to identify the method how to make flour and bread using soybean and how to know the shelf life. Objective 2, to conduct survey and observation about obesity on sensitivity and feedback towards soybean bread. And also objective 3, to identify what method that's suitable to use to know the nutrient shelf life in soybean bread and it work to obesity. Next slide.
Okay, my name is Afiqah and I will present about field study. First objective is to identify the method how to make flour and bread using soybean and how to know their shelf life. First is data collection. The method we use is interview. The tools is interview question using Teams and Zoom. The name of the company is CDB Flour Mill and CSH Bakery and Confectionery Sdn Bhd. The company background, CDB Flour Mills located at Ipoh Perak and CSH Bakery located at Johor. The reason of choosing this company is the CDB Flour Mills company that produce variation types of flour, and the interviewer is the owner of the company. CSH Bakery, one of the large and popular factory in Malaysia that produce bread, and the factory that produce bread is related to this final year's project, which is soybean bread. The interviewer is the worker of the company. Next slide. For the finding, CDB flour mills using traditional method to make flour, such as dry the bean under sunlight. And 3 basic steps to make flour is dry, green, and filter. To know the nutritional value, the sample was sent to the lab, and to determine the shelf life, also using the traditional method, such which is only take a look and state that will last until 10 months. The CH Bakery and Confectionery, the criteria flour that's suitable that make bread must contain at least 12% of protein. And 9 basic steps to make bread is mixing, knead, mold, shape, proof, baking, cooling, filling, and packing. And 6 basic ingredients is flour, sugar, water, yeast, salt, and oil. And lastly, to determine the nutritional value of shelf life, the sample was sent to the lab. Next slide. Okay, this picture proof that we used to interview the company to get the information. Next slide.
Hello, my name is Mashitah Humaira and I will present about objective number 2, which is to conduct survey and observation about obesity on society and feedback towards soybean bread. Last month, my group member and I ran a field study using survey and observation as a method, and we use questionnaire as a tool. And we distribute the online form using WhatsApp application, and about 126% have filled the form. The person is come from the entire Malaysia, just like me, spread the form to the Kelantaners, and then what we get from there is based on the data collection for 126%. 55% indicate being obese, mostly from the other. This data ranges with the data from WHO that state Malaysia is the highest obese among the Southeast Asian, and 30.5% agree that factor of obesity because of food intake, which is unbalanced, and 38.8% also agree that soybean bread has many benefits for nutrients such as high in protein, and 100 agree that soybean can make bread, and then 84.9% agree that soybean bread has many benefits to health such as lost weight and then increase the productivity. This diagram of data analysis show that the data from the form chart 1 percentage of BMI, diagram 1 data from WHO and NHMS that state Malaysia is the highest obesity among the Southeast Asian, and graph 1 percentage of every cost, and graph 2 benefit of soybean, graph 3, and then graph 4. That's all.
Hi, my name is Mawaddah. So I will like to present about data collection. Okay, first, to identify what method is suitable to use to know the nutrient shelf life in soybean bread and it work to obesity. Okay, for the data collection, we use literature review and photos, checklist of things to read. If you can see, in the checklist, which is soybean bread, nutritional composition, shelf life, and analysis. Okay, so for the research, we use 3 methods: journal, thesis, and article. Okay, next. Okay, next, for finding, the first method is to determine the nutrient in bread. First, protein culture method, fat salt extraction method, and for fiber, microscopy sample examination. Second method to determine the shelf life. Shelf life is microbiological shelf life. Okay, so how it works? Soybean bread has high nutritional value. Literary protein has been shown to induce higher satiating and thermogenic effect and greater weight loss than carbohydrate. Okay, this is situation for sauce. Next.
For the calculation is 3 basic steps to make flour and 9 basic steps to make bread. Malaysia the first rank in Southeast Asia who are obese. The soybean bread contain high protein that can help reduce the obesity. Suggestion: more protein will produce much better bread to reduce obesity. This is to a major reduction in hunger, and main reason protein help in lose weight. It can make human eat fewer calories automatically. Next slide.
Okay, so for the part 2, project title, project overview, type problem statement, and significant study and overview method. Okay, next. Okay, next project title, determination of nutritional composition and shelf life of soybean bread at different percentage of soybean flour.
Taqiah. Taqiah buka mic.
Taqiah.
Okay, I will present about project overview. First, to identify the best percentage of nutrient soybean that really effective in lower obesity and how to know bread is really safe to eat. The percentage of soybean flour that used in soybean bread is soybean flour. The ratio is soybean flour with wheat flour. The first is 80 of soybean bread ratio to 20 wheat flour. Second, 90 ratio to 10, and last one only we use soybean flour. To determine the nutritional composition, the approximate analysis will run to protein, fat, and fiber. To determine the shelf life of bread is microbiome analysis. This project will do an analysis on high protein of soybean bread with different percentage of soybean flour. Okay, next. For the outlines of literature review, we have 4 important outlines for literature review, which is soybean bread, nutritional composition, shelf life, and analysis. Okay, next.
Okay, my name is Mashitah Humaira and I will present about problem statement. The problem statement is obesity on society, especially for other in Malaysia. And Malaysia is the highest obesity rate among Southeast Asia. Just you say in February 1 that Malaysia is 50.6%. And based on NHMS, one of the Malaysia other population is obese. You can see in this data that satu daripada Malaysia dewasa di Malaysia adalah obese. And then the bad effect of obesity to economy, it will impose cost in the form of lost productivity and foregone economic growth. The lost productivity just like you lazy to work or lazy to move. And obesity is continuous to increase day by day, especially during this pandemic COVID-19 that mostly people will stay at home and do not do any activity. And cause of obesity is eating too much and moving too little, just like the case of Malaysia kinesthetic and consume high amount of energy. The nutrients that provide energy are commonly referred to carbohydrate, lipid, and protein. And this is the supported data for the problem statement. That's all.
Okay, next I will present about significance of study. Okay, one of the ways to reduce obesity is through consuming product that contain soybean. Okay, second most important reason why soybean can be consumed to reduce obesity is because it containing the soy protein. And third, therefore, an increasing body of literature suggests that soy protein and isoflavones may have a beneficial role in obesity. And fourth, to know the suitable amount they really effective to consume, nutritional composition must know and to make sure the bread is safe to eat. Shelf life analysis also must to do. Okay. First, social. Soybean bread with perfect percentage of nutritional composition. One way to reduce obesity among adults. Second, economy. When obesity reduce productivity of worker will gain. When such as worker will work more seriously and easy to move, it will give a good impact to economy. For third, environment. If high demand towards soybean bread, the planting of soybean plant also can increase and increasingly will increase the quality of oxygen and air. As you know, the carbon dioxide will decrease if oxygen increase. Okay, next.
For the objective one is to identify the best nutrient percentage of nutrient for protein in soybean bread that really effective to lower the obesity. This is we will use the 3% soybean flour net bread. One, the higher protein will determine as percentage. And then objective two, determine the shelf life of soybean bread. Because it is important, we know that it has short shelf life and most prevalent it happen. It need prefect temperature. Next slide. For the overview method. For the overview method is firstly is preparation of the soybean. The soybean and ingredient for the making was bought. And then second is the preparation of soybean flour. The soybean washed with clean water and salt for 1 hour and rinse with water and then boiling for 25 minutes. And soybean was fried at temperature 110 degrees Celsius about 20 minutes and set aside in the cool and sieve with a mesh to obtain soybean flour. After that, the bread making. In the process is preparation of raw material. The ingredient was wheat based on formulation and ingredient was mixing and dough was mixed until smooth and elastic. And then roast the dough and dough was forming and bread was baked for 30 minutes at temperature 180 degrees Celsius. And then for the analysis is the method using to analyze it is proximate analysis and shelf life. For the protein is the proximate analysis for the protein is the using Kejeda method. It is 3 steps. It is the digestion, distillation and titration. For the fat, it is determined fat by solid extraction method to estimation of fat in bread. And then the process is the extraction process for 6 hours. And for the fiber analysis, using the fiber analysis is macroscopic sample examination. And also the shelf life analysis, the shelf life of food this time between the production or packaging of product. And also microbial, the temperature increase, that rate of microbial growth increase. It need to examine the presence of amount of yeast that cause bread perishable. For the object one,
All from us. Thank you.